Hello. Well, as usual, it's time for me to update you on my weekly weigh-in. You see, it's Thursday, and every Thursday, if I have a scale available, I'm going to be on it when I first get up. So this morning was no different than usual. I got up, made my way to the scale as much as I didn't want to, put my feet on it, and weighed as usual. How did I do? Well, last week I weighed in at 122 even. I was very happy with that because that is what I weighed before I left to go to Utah. Then, the day after I did that weigh-in last Thursday, Papa, me, our granddaughter, and her significant other left for a 4-day trip to Florida. Now, I'm not excusing what happened. I'm just explaining it. When I start my topic for this week after I share with you my weigh-in, you'll understand a little bit more about why I chose the topic I did this week. Pop and I got back yesterday, late afternoon, and it was perfect timing for me because I knew it was going to be time for me to weigh in this morning. I did it, and I weighed in at 124.2. Now that may sound very not such a good thing, but you see, I was expecting to weigh over 125 pounds because for the 4 days that we were in Florida, 3 out of 4 of those days, we ate out for supper. As all of you know, it is very hard to track restaurant food. Even though I've eaten in several of these restaurants over the years, it's still hard to accurately track. And so I was concerned what my weigh-in was going to be this morning. I really thought I was going to be out of my happy weight, which for those of you that are new to my channel, my happy weight is between 123 and 125 pounds. That's what I feel my best size at. If I'm a little under it, I'm okay. But if I get over that 125, I'm determined to get under it again. So that's what I was expecting. I was expecting about a 4-pound gain. And so just to have a 2.2 gain, I'm okay with it. But now I want to go into the topic. And the topic for this week is making good food choices, even on vacation. You know, I've been on Weight Watchers now for over 9 years. It will be 9 years since I made my initial goal weight on October the 2nd. So I'm getting close to that. And so each year I try to rein it back in the summertime, but I always struggle. Most people say that's when they can lose the majority of their weight. Well, my best time of year is January, February, March, and the 1st of April. I don't know why that's the case, but that is when I can lose the majority of my weight, usually. So I try to get a little bit of a cushion because I know that I'm going to be in Florida more and not be able to track accurately. But because I've been on this program for 9 years, I have began to see that I still have a measured amount of success. And why is that? It's because I have learned to make better food choices, even on vacation. And you may think, 2.2 gain is making better food choices? Well, it is when you look at the whole picture, that you're not able to accurately track. You know that there's going to be chances that you have underestimated what you've been eating. Also, this past week, I had a bad situation come up with some Tootsie Rolls. not once, but 3 times. Now, that's hard for me to admit, but as all of y'all know, I'm going to tell you like it is. And 3 different times, I got a hold of more Tootsie Rolls than I should be eating. And that was at home or at our place of residence in Florida. So I was very concerned that now you understand why I thought I was going to have a 4-pound gain. So for it to be 2.2 pound gain, I'm more than happy. I'm still under that 125, and I believe with all my heart the reason I had a measured amount of success is when we did eat out those 3 out of 4 nights, I had a plan. I did not pick from the most pointed food list, which is very easy to do when you're at a seafood restaurant, because especially in the panhandle of Florida, they have a lot of fried fish. And luckily for me, I live in a time where they offer broiled and grilled fish. And that's what I stayed within a measured amount of time when we went out to eat. I stayed with either boneless chicken breast or broiled or grilled fish. And I do think that that's why I had a measured amount of success. The whole reason I'm saying all this is you can make those same kind of choices. You know, years ago, before I was on a sensible weight loss, sensible maintenance program like I am today, I have a feeling I was going on vacation and probably gaining somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 10 pounds. I'll never know for sure because guess what? I was not coming anywhere close to a scale back in those days. But I know what I ate. And I ate a lot of fried foods and a lot of desserts. Well, for this week, for the most part, the Tootsie Rolls were the only thing I ate that might be classified as a dessert. And that's loosely classified. It was just an afternoon snack that I let get out of hand. But other than that, I do think I made good food choices. You can too. But you have to be mindful of it. You have to, if you can, pre-plan what you're going to eat. For the most part, these restaurants that we went to this past week were online. And that means their menu was. Now, I did run into one problem. I think it was Sunday night. I had something completely good to eat, picked out. And when we got to this restaurant, it has a very limited menu. And what I thought that I was going to order was not on the menu for that night. So I had to juggle around, but they still had, I think it was grilled mahi-mahi is what I got that night. And it still fell into making a good food choice for me. Each night, I tried my best not to get anything fried. I did one night think I had a grilled chicken breast coming, and when it got to the table, it was baked chicken, and it had a slight breading on it. But this is what I did, because I know that breading is going to have points. So what I did is I scraped as much of that breading off as I could. I didn't draw attention to it. I let the conversation flow the way that it was flowing. I did not make a big deal. I just scraped it off. Also, that same night, they brought me 2 big pieces of chicken breast, and I only ate 1. So that was then another thing. It was the way that I chose the foods, or maybe the way that I ate them. I had a to-go box more than once when we were going out to these restaurants. I make a plan. I plan ahead so that I don't get caught up in eating double the amount of points that I'm going to eat. One thing that I did want to do that I did not is when we go to Florida, about once a year, I will have a alcoholic beverage. My favorite is pina colada, and I didn't have it. It just didn't work out for me to have it. I don't have a bit of problems if I did have that one, and it has nothing to do with the alcohol content and all to do with how many points it is. I learned a long time ago I would much rather spend my points on food than on alcohol, and that's what I've done, and it's probably had a good twofold success for me in that I don't imbibe much anymore. But anyway, to come to a sort of a conclusion of why I picked this topic is that even when you are on vacation, you can make better food choices. You can keep your weight gain down to a minimum. And I know 2 pounds or a little over 2 pounds, it's borderline about being minimum, but I was happy with it because I'm still in my happy weight. Now this week, I'm only 0.8 of a pound below my happy weight top, so I have to be a lot more mindful of what I'm eating. Like tonight, I'm cooking supper, so I can control how much I eat. Wish me luck. I hope you've liked this video. If you have, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribing, consider subscribing. And if you know of anyone that could benefit from any of these videos I make, please share. God bless each and every one of you in this upcoming week. Goodbye.